Next, I want to look at integration by substitution. Now, I'll use an example to explain this process. Suppose you want to integrate x plus 2 to power 5 with respect to x. Now, integration by substitution involves setting up a new variable u to simplify the integral. So, integration by substitution involves setting up a new variable u to simplify the integral. So the idea is you want to simplify this integral so that you can easily integrate it using the methods that we know. The first thing here in a question like this is, so in this case we'll let u be equal to x plus 2. Now we need to differentiate this. I'll explain why. So du over dx will be 1. Now I want you to think of this as a division. So if you think this as a division, we'll end up with du is equals to dx. Okay, if you think this as a division, du over dx, then we'll end up with du is equals to dx. And the reason is we want to substitute what we have into our original integral to end up with something that you can work with. So this integral here will become integral of u to power 5. Now instead of dx, we'll have du. Why? Because du is equals to dx from what I've just written above here. Okay, and now we can easily integrate this function with respect to u. What we'll end up with is u to power 5 plus 1, same way, 5 plus 1, plus c, which will be u to power 6 over 6 plus c. Well, but we know that u is equal to x plus 2. So our final answer will be, you replace u with x plus 2, so x plus 2 to power 6 over 6 plus c. And that will be our final answer. So that's the process of integration by substitution. Look at another example. Integrate square root of 1 minus 2x with respect to x. So the first thing is we need to rewrite this using our notation. So 1 minus 2x to power a half with respect to x. The first thing is, of course, we need to rewrite this so that easily we can easily work with it. So the first thing is, let u be equal to 1 minus 2x. Let u be equal to 1 minus 2x. So du over dx will be negative 2, which means that dx will be du over negative 2. And now, after that, means that this integral will become u to power a half multiplied by du over negative 2. Now, because negative 2 is a constant, I can bring it outside the integral sign to end up with negative a half integral of u to power a half du, which will mean I'll end up with negative a half I'll use these brackets here. So u to power a half plus 1 over a half plus 1 plus c. Okay, which means I'll end up with negative a half u to power 3 over 2 over 3 over 2 plus c. Just extend the page. So this will give me negative a half. Replace u with 1 minus 2x, so 1 minus 2x to power 3 over 2 over 3 over 2 plus c. That's actually our answer, but we can simplify it. Now, you don't have to multiply negative a half by c because we don't know what c is. C is just a constant. So even if you multiply it by negative a half, it doesn't really change anything. We don't know what it is. There's no need of multiplying by it. So I'll just multiply the first term in the bracket by negative a half, which will be, and actually I can write this to have negative a half into bracket 2 over 3 into 1 minus 2x to power 3 over 2 plus c. That way I can easily simplify that to be negative a third 1 minus 2x to power 3 over 2 plus c. That's my final solution. Here's another question. The first thing you need to do again is let u be equal to 4 minus 5x. So du over dx will be negative 5, which means that dx will be du over negative 5. Well, but of course we can simplify this, just rewrite it. I should have started with that. That will be 3 into bracket 4 minus 5x to power negative a third dx. So, which means that my new integral will be the integral of 3u to power negative a third. Now instead of dx, I'll have du over negative 5. And just simplify this, and pull out the constants outside the integral sign. So negative 3 over 5 integral of u to power negative a third du. Now, if you integrate that, you'll end up with negative 3 over 5 u to power negative 1 over 3 plus 1 over negative 1 over 3 plus 1 plus c, which will be negative 3 over 5 into bracket. That will be u to power 2 over 3 over 2 over 3 plus c. Again, I'm going to rewrite this so we can easily see what's happening. Negative 3 over 5 into bracket 3 over 2 multiplied by u to power 2 over 3 plus c, which if we simplify will end up with negative 9 over 10 u to power 2 over 3 plus c. And of course you have to replace what u is. So negative 9 over 10, whatever u was, 4 minus 5x to power 2 over 3 plus c. Okay, so there's a lot of algebra in it, but simplifying expressions, indices, fractional indices, negative indices. But so long as you're following the right process, you should be okay. here's another question. Um, Now, here we can just go straight away to substitution. Um, just wanted to write it 4 into e to power negative 2x dx. The reason why I'm writing 4 out, it's a constant, so it doesn't really get affected when you integrate this function. So let u be equal to negative 2x. du over dx will be negative 2, which means that dx will be du over negative 2. If you replace this, so our new integral will become 4 e to power u multiplied by dx, which is du over negative 2. And we'll end up with, if, because negative 2 is a constant, we can take it out. So we'll have 4 over negative 2 e to power u du. Now, we know that the integral of e to power u is just e to power u. So our answer will be negative 2, because 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. E to power u plus c. And then we replace u with negative 2x plus c. Then you have your solution. Number 7. Now, number 7, we'll do the same thing. Start with our integral, e to power 5 minus 3x. And I'll just write this, all of this to the power of a half, integrating with respect to x. Now, if you have a power of a power, you can just multiply them out. So what I'll end up with will be the integral of e to the power of 5 over 2 minus 3 over 2x. And then, of course, you can start with substitution. So let u be equal to 5 over 2 minus 3 over 2x. So du over dx will be just negative 3 over 2, which means that dx will be negative 2 over 3 du. Okay, now I can move on to the substitution. So I'll end up with the integral of e to power u multiplied by dx, which is negative 2 over 3 du. Take that outside the bracket, the integral sign, so negative 2 over 3 integral of e to power u. And integral of e to power u is just e to power u, so negative 2 over 3 e to power u plus c. Replace u with what we substituted it with. So negative 2 over 3 e to power 5 over 2 minus 3 over 2x plus c. That will be our final solution. So lots of practice questions, but this helps to understand the process. Let's keep going. The next one is integral of this. So the first thing here you can say is let u be equal to 3x minus 1. So du over dx will be 3, which means that dx is equals to du over 3. And then the next step is substitute. So we'll end up with an integral of 2 to power u multiplied by du over 3, which will give me a third integral of 2 to power u du. Okay, so the main question here is, how do we integrate this guy here? Okay, how do we integrate that guy? Now you have to go back to the formula booklet. They do give you a way on how you can integrate that. So if you scroll down to, let me just take this out. Wait. So if you go to the integral of a to power x, of course our a here is 2. So if you look at the integral of a to power x, you end up with 1 over ln a to power x plus c. So we are going to use that. Our a here is 2. Okay, so what we'll end up with is 1 over 3, and then this will be 1 over ln 2 multiplied by 2 to power u plus c, which will give us, I can just rewrite this and maybe make a substitution. So 1 over 3 into bracket 2 to power u, u is 3x minus 1 over ln 2 plus c. And just finish this off, and we can write this as 2 to power 3x minus 1 over 3 ln 2 plus c. Looks better that way. Okay. Number 9. So the first thing is I can rewrite this integral of 3 into bracket 1 minus 2x to power negative 1 dx. And then, say let u be equal to 1 minus 2x. Same process. So du over dx will be negative 2, which means that dx will be du over negative 2. And then we make our substitution. So we'll end up with integral of 3 u to power negative 1 multiplied by dx, which is du over negative 2. Like I said previously, if you have constants, take them outside the integral sign. So you'll end up with negative 3 over 2 integral of u to power negative 1 du. And just write this properly. So negative 3 over 2, 1 over u. There's a reason why I'm writing like that. Now, how you do integrate 1 over u? We go back to our formula booklet. Just delete this again. So in our formula booklet, we have this formula. So the integral of 1 over x is ln absolute value of x plus c, which means that the integral of 1 over u will be negative 3 over 2 ln absolute value of u plus c. So our answer will be ln absolute value of 1 minus 2x plus c.